The sheep shearer is himself dressed in dirty rags. He gathered everything for himself but had to slaughter his pig. The sun never leaves my heart, which surpasses a garden. A stranger's ox eats grass while one's own ox lies hungry. Those who get excited should not become foreign. A shepherd should not become a farmer. Let the favor be repaid to him who repays a favor. Both the palace and the netherworld require obedience from their inhabitants. Into a plague-stricken city one has to be driven like a pack-ass. A house built by a righteous man is destroyed by a treacherous man. The palace is a slippery place, where one slips. Watch your step when you decide to go home. The palace bows down, but only of its own accord. The palace one day a lamenting mother, the next day a mother giving birth. Even the palace cannot avoid the wasteland. Even a barge cannot avoid straw. Even a nobleman cannot avoid corvée work. It became cloudy, but it did not rain. It rained, but no one undid their belt. Although the river was on its high tide, no water reached the arable lands. It rained on the river bank, but the dry land did not get any of it. Though I still have bread left over, I will eat your bread. Will this endear a man to the household of his friend? You don't speak of that which you have found. You speak only of what you have lost. One does not return borrowed bread. If you're poor, you're better dead than alive. If you've got bread, you can't afford salt. If you've got salt, you can't afford bread. Fate is a dog walking always behind a man. Tell a lie and then tell the truth. It will be heard as a lie. One does not marry a 3-year-old wife as a donkey does. The good thing is to find it. The bad thing is to lose it. The end priest eats fish and eats leeks, but cress makes him ill. No one walks for a second time at the place where a lion has eaten a man. A dog said to his master, "If my pleasure is of no importance to you, then my loss should not be either." A dog which is played with turns into a puppy. The tall grain thrives, but what do we understand of it? The meager grain thrives, but what do we understand of it? The city whose weapons are not strong, the enemy before its gate shall not be thrust through. If you go and take the field of an enemy, the enemy will come and take your field. Upon a glad heart oil is poured out of which no one knows. Friendship is for the day of trouble, posterity for the future. An ass in another city becomes its head. Writing is the mother of eloquence and the father of artists. Be gentle to your enemy as to an old oven. The gift of the king is the nobility of the exalted. The gift of the king is the favor of governors. Friendship in days of prosperity is servitude forever. There is strife where servants are, slander where anointers anoint. When you see they gain of the fear of God, exalt God and bless the king. What flows in is never enough to fill it, and what flows out can never be stopped. Don't envy the king's property. When a man sailing downstream encounters a man whose boat is traveling upstream, an inspection is an abomination to the gods. A hostile act you shall not perform, that fear of vengeance shall not consume you. You shall not do evil, that life eternal you may obtain. Does a woman conceive when a virgin, or grow great without eating? If I put anything down, it is snatched away. If I do more than is expected, who will repay me? He has dug a well where no water is. He has raised a husk without kernel. Does a marsh receive the price of its reeds, or fields the price of their vegetation? The strong live by their own wages, the weak by the wages of their children. He is altogether good, but he is clothed with darkness. The face of a toiling ox you shall not strike with a goad. My knees go, my feet are unwearied, but a fool has cut into my course. His ass I am harnessed to a mule, a wagon I draw, to seek reeds and fodder I go forth. The life of day before yesterday has departed today. If the husk is not right, the kernel is not right, it will not produce seed.